Shemai, today we're going to have a look at the silver birch, or I said before, they've always got a Latin name, Betula pendula, or in Welsh, Bedwyn Arian. It's a beautiful tree, always very graceful. They're deciduous, which means that they lose their leaves in the winter. They grow to about 30 metres tall. You can see these are quite mature examples behind me, and they can live for about 80 to 100 years old. Birch are considered to be a pioneer species, which means that it's one of the first to recolonise after the last ice age melted away about 15,000 years ago. They produce vast numbers of seeds, which means that there's a good chance that they will take and grow. And they'll grow on particularly poor soil. They don't need great soil to grow on. Birch are easily identified by their white-silver bark, hence the name silver birch, and also by their drooping branches. And the Latin name, like I said, is Betula pendula, pendula meaning drooping. And they're easy to spot. They're a medium-sized tree, and we'll have a little closer look at the bark. The bark is a whitey silvery colour, and as you come down further down the trunk, it turns into quite a rough and ridged bark. One of the interesting things about silver birch bark is that on the younger pieces it will peel like paper, and that's so it can shed pollutants and clean its breathing pores. This papery kind of bark is very good for lighting fires and starting fires. Something fascinating about silver birch is during this time of year when the sap starts to rise, so it's around about March time, early spring, and only for about 2 to 3 weeks, you can tap the sap. So as the tree draws up the water through its roots and sends it up through the tree, you can actually drill a little hole into the tree and you can take the sap out and you can drink it. And apparently it's good as an antiseptic and doesn't do any harm to the tree as long as it's a good sized tree and not done very often, every sort of 2 to 3 years. Mature birch trees make excellent habitats. You can just see the hollow where the branches come off there. And it's said that they can be a home to up to 300 insect species. Silver birch trees are monoecious, which means that they have both male and female catkins on them. The catkins, like these ones here, I'm not sure if you can see them very clearly, grow to about 3 centimetres and generally present this time of year, March to April. It's a wind-pollinated tree, so the wind will blow the pollen around, but also the seeds are wind-distributed as well. And the amazing thing with silver birch, and again, one of the reasons that it's very common and it is a pioneer species, is that it produces huge quantities of seeds. You could hold several thousand in a cupped hand, and on a single tree like this, you could have millions and millions of seeds in the autumn. This here, the drooping branches, they used to be cut, and because it's another tree that will be coppiced, which means it can be cut down to the ground and it will sprout back and grow back. And it used to be coppiced to make old style brooms or bism brooms. They're the ones that you'll see that are traditionally like witches' brooms. And they're also used for, because of the thin, soft nature of them, for racecourse jumps. Traditionally, birch had many uses. The bark, particularly lower down, can be harder than the wood itself and has been used in Scandinavia for roofing tiles. Tar can also be made out of it and used as a waterproofer, and was used as a waterproofer for canoes, and could also be used as a glue, particularly back in the days of hunter-gatherers, and they would use it to glue on the arrowheads for their bows and arrows. It's also been used as footwear. Other traditional uses is that it was used as decoration in churches, particularly at Whitsun. It was seen to afford some kind of protection against evil spirits, and it's one of the reasons that it used to be used to make babies' cradles. Also, maypoles were often made from birch. Some say that silver birch aren't struck by lightning, but I can't say that that's definitely true. As I've said, silver birch is one of my favourite trees because of this graceful nature. Go out and find it when the leaves are on the trees, and just take the time, lie underneath it, take the time to have a look and see how graceful it is, particularly when the leaves on. And it's also very, very beautiful in the autumn, lovely orangey autumn colours. So there we go, another one for you to go out and find. Good luck.